Hey guys, welcome back to the Pulling Curls podcast. Today on episode 243, we are talking about being too tied to routines. It's one of those episodes that Hilary really needs, and you guys just get to listen in. Let's untangle it.
Hi, I'm Hilary, a serial overcomplicator. I'm also a nurse, mom to three, and the curly head behind Pulling Curls and the Pregnancy Nurse. This podcast aims to help us stop overcomplicating things and remember how much easier it is to keep things simple. Let's smooth out those snarls with Pregnancy and Parenting Untangled, the Pulling Curls podcast.
This episode of the Pulling Curls podcast is sponsored by Family Routines, which is amusing because I'm talking about too many routines. But if you are looking to get routines in your life, if you're rolling your eyes thinking, if I could just get on a routine, come join me in Family Routines. I clearly am great at it. So come join me in there. It's going to make your life easier and it's going to get your family more involved in helping out around the house. My dad has a phrase, everything in moderation, including moderation, which I always laugh about. He uses it a lot with me because I tend to be the person who goes to extremes, but also the extreme of moderation. He's like, no, you have to go to the extremes every once in a while. So I often get too tied into routines. I'm like, this is the day that I do my bathroom. I will say that when I came home postpartum, I was unable to stop cleaning my house, right? I cleaned the bathroom on Tuesdays. I still went in and cleaned the bathroom on Tuesdays, even though I had just had a baby 2 days before and my husband was completely capable, willing, able, just didn't get in there before I did it. And I was so tied to the routine of that's what I do on Tuesdays that I couldn't let it go. I don't know if anyone else is here with me, but that is Hilary. So I think you can see this as a problem when something big happens. You're sick, you have a sick kid, and you're still so tied to those routines. You're just like scrambling to get it done because that's your routine, right? Sometimes I actually build non-routines into my routine. So in the summer, we'd always have a really clear plan about what we did during the day, right? In the mornings, we'd get up, the kids would do like some learning activity, and then we would have some screen time, and then we would have reading time, and then we would have, right? I had a routine. But on Fridays, it was a day for non-routine, right? So we tried to go do something fun. It got us out of the house, got us doing something different. So because Friday was my non-routine day, it helped me not get so tied to the routines, but also still have a routine so we didn't all lose our minds on the other days of the week. Sometimes I find myself tied to this when I'm like, today is my kitchen day, but my kids have made a huge mess in the bathroom. And I'm in my head like, well, I have to clean my kitchen, maybe even first before I get to the bathroom, or I have to clean my bathroom and my kitchen, overwhelming myself, right? When in reality, something's crazy happened, we're going to take care of the bathroom, and then maybe we do some of the kitchen on the next bathroom day, right? We notice it when things out of the ordinary like snag us up, and we notice that we're so tied to this routine that we're having a hard time letting go of it while trying to keep our own sanity in the situation. That's when I notice it, at least. And going back to when I had babies, I clung to these routines so much. I did have my babies on a schedule and I clung to that schedule so much that maybe I didn't enjoy them as much as I could. And I often wonder what life will be like when I'm a grandparent and I won't have to care about anything like that. I, of course, will do whatever my children want me to do with that baby. But I won't have that inner drive of it's 3 hours, that baby has to go down for a nap, right? When I just want to sit there and hold them for another 5 minutes. Hopefully I can override that as a grandparent, which, by the way, is probably not for a really long time. Something I like to do is I gift my kids not being in the routine every once in a while. So we do a Saturday morning clean. And if a kid's just been super busy in a play or has something like that, I'll say, you know what, this week you're out of the Saturday morning clean. Just enjoy your day. The rest of us are going to take care of it. But the next week, you've got to make sure that they jump right back into that routine because otherwise they'll sense your weakness and they'll be like, well, I guess we don't have to clean the house on Saturdays. And that's not what I want. I love getting my family involved with the Saturday clean. I have a whole podcast on it. But sometimes, when you want to give your kid a treat, the treat is that I do some of the work for you or you get out of this routine. And that shows you that I love you by doing some extra work for you instead of buying you a bag of Skittles. Everything in life is a balance, right? And so sometimes I have to step back and really look at, is this routine helping me or hurting me? Or is today the day just to skip this routine, right? Could I just skip it? Could I just lightly do the bathroom? Do I have to go full bore on it? When we look at how things are affecting our lives and we step back and look at it, sometimes routines can be really a bummer. I think that in general, routines help my house run really well and it makes me less stressed. But when I find that I'm getting too stressed out by the routines, I got to step back and figure out why, if it's just today or if it's the actual routine that's just too much. So I would encourage you guys to check that out. It's just something that I've been noticing in my life, and it might help you guys as well. Stay tuned. Next week, we are talking about birth plans with Dr. Nicole Rankins. And then the week after that, we're going to be talking about voting in some of the smaller elections around us with my friend who was on the school board. So stay tuned for that.
Thanks for joining us on the Pulling Curls podcast today. If you liked today's episode, please consider reviewing, sharing, subscribing. It really helps our podcast grow. Thank you.